Greetings! Welcome to the Devlog for Experimental Build 2 of Update 118 of Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades. We're going to start off as always with a quick sound check. Make sure your speakers aren't up too high. Wonderful. So what have we got for you this week? Well, we are continuing work on our reflex sight systems and have a whole bunch of new functionality for that, a new reflex sight. And of course, following that, as any of you have been following this account here or on Reddit know, I'm about to hurt myself. Just terribly with some hot sauce on a hot dog. So we'll see that in a few. But let's first take a look at what we've got going here, reflex sight wise. So the first thing here is we've got a new one. This is the, oh goodness, what are you called? This is the H3VR, which actually, it helps to actually put a mount on first to be able to mount this. Oh, are we getting an error? We are getting an error. Fantastic. Wouldn't be a devlog without a bug. So we have fixed that. I had a missing reference on this new reflex sight. There we go. Beautiful. Check out that default reticle. This is maybe my favorite reticle of any one of the dots, just because that circle means that it's much easier for you to find your way up to it. We actually have a couple reticle options if memory serves. Yeah, this is our Vulcan reticle. We have a circle dot like so, and just a 2 MOA dot. We're going to stick on that Vulcan one. Oh, that is just everything you want out of a reticle on a dot. So to go with that, in addition to having these adapters here, we have added a bunch of functionality to some existing scopes. So we can now go ahead and pop an RMR right on top of our ACOG scope for fast transitions between engagement ranges. Pop you back off, take you off. Got it on the Ghost Yard, which honestly, this doesn't, seeing as this thing has just like absolutely renowned 1x FOV and clarity, I don't know why you would ever put an RMR mount on here. I don't know, maybe if you just kept this up at 4x the whole time. Yeah, I guess that is faster than having to pull our hand up to flip a switch. Yeah, I can see it. I don't know, it looks a little goofy. It looks a little tactical try hard, but I guess it is the fastest. And our 1 to 10, same sort of thing, so we can just crank that up much higher and pop that on there. So quick transitions. Although what's interesting there is this switch at certain magnifications does actually obstruct. So gotta watch out for that. But if you want to just go ridiculous, we note that we have a forward and a rear mount for these scope rings. So I guess if you wanted to turn there we go, dual 0 points. Ridiculous. So there you have it. That is additions. So we've got some more additions to the ACOG family that'll be coming soon, but wanted to get those in. And then the last absolutely ridiculous addition, because the meme was going around just in the past day or two, someone was seen actually putting a RMR mount directly onto a Luger, and I just couldn't help myself. So there you go, a toggle lock mounted RMR. Makes it very obvious when you are out of ammo, because it just becomes a completely opaque obstruction there. The perfect addition to any 3-gun competition. You know, it's not terrible, and that bothers me. That it's not terrible. it feels like it should be irrevocably terrible. So, boop. There you go. So, that is what is in this week's experimental build. Let's jump out of VR for some pain. Yo! So, out of VR, although the funny thing is this is technically before VR because I'm recording this section of the devlog prior to the in-headset part because I thought that would be funnier. And the reason for that is we're doing something very special today. Many of you may have seen the YouTube post that I did, but I have concluded a series that I've been doing called Hot Ones on a Hot Dog, where I've been trying all the Hot One sauces on a hot dog a day at a time on my Blue Sky. And we've been doing now a hot dog shtick, hot dog or not dog, on this channel, and they just happen to line up in a special way, which is that I'm up to sauce number 10, the last dab. And so I decided that the fun thing to do, just sort of softly riffing off their format, would be to answer a bunch of questions that you folks had for me while eating a hot dog that has been absolutely drenched in the last dab. So here's some video of me using a mixing bowl and a glove to absolutely coat a very high quality hot dog, I might add, with it. I've been sitting here prepping for all of this and I'm being tear gassed by it because it's just been sitting here. I'm going to carefully cheer in the plate, just as you can see, just coated in it. Oh my gosh, it's just, there's a gas cloud from this. I have prepared I've got my list of questions. I've got my emergency yogurt. And some milk. I honestly, given that it's just for a slight recap, most of the Hot One sauces quite delightful, not as spicy as I expected. Da Bomb is like drinking battery acid, and then their scorpion pepper one is not messing around. So I don't really know how bad this is going to be, but we're going to find out together. I've got a whole bunch of questions. I'm not going to do a bite to a question. I'm going to do more like 3 questions to a bite, give or take. So we'll see how this goes. So without further ado, let's begin the pain. Let's take a bite first and then get to our first question. We're just going to take just a little tip off of this. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Immediately right in the foretongue. Almost immediate tingle body reaction. This is going to suck. Let's just get into it so I can focus on it. Question number 1. What's the most fun you've ever had shooting a firearm in real life? Probably the time that I went to Battlefield Vegas. It was probably like the second or third time I went there, where I focused what I was shooting, oh goodness, on World War II machine guns as I could. So the BAR, the Bren, the MG42, the DP28. If you ever go to Battlefield Vegas or another Vegas machine gun attraction, definitely fire the old stuff because it's big, it's clanky, it's metallic. They sound like video game guns. Oh my gosh, the tip of my tongue is already tingling. We're going to hold off on the milk as long as we can. Question number 2. Anton, who do you think would win in a fight between a grilled cheese and a taco? Or grilled cheese, obviously. Oh, this was a bad idea. What's your favorite gun in H3? The long flopper. It's the first gun that I did like a monkey's paw request. For some background, there was someone named Sir Longflap who kept asking, hey, Anton, I want a long slide. I want a long slide 1911. When are you putting long slides in? And so I was like, fine, you want a long slide? And I did the long flopper with a super long slide. And so it was the first time I ever did that with a gun in the game. And it was great. Man, I understand now why Hot Ones does interviews with hot sauce, because you can can barely focus on getting through it. Okay, question number 4, still not touching the milk. If by the flick of a magic wand you could change a thing that is stupidly complex about H3 and modify it in the game, what would it be? If I had a magic wand, it would be to migrate the game and the thousands of mods that exist on it just up to modern Unity, because it's basically impossible for that to ever happen. And so if I had just a genie wish constrained to H3 state as a game, that would be it. 5. How long have you been a firearms enthusiast? Wow, I'm already getting a little delirious here. I don't think I've really, I didn't really become an enthusiast until several years into H3. Like, I was into guns as machines. I drew them. I loved them in a science fiction context. I had a favorite gun before then, but I didn't really start collecting real firearms till several years into this game. But I was into them from a fairly young time. Like, I used to look through like firearm encyclopedias with my brother. Yeah, okay, we're gonna take a small sip of milk. The hardest thing about this actually is that there's enough like stinging sensation right on the inside of my lip that it's screwing up my ability to speak. Question number 6. Do you regret adding the SoSig body pillow to H3VR? Absolutely not. I love that it's in, and I love how the idea that it has provoked a number of uncomfortable conversations between H3 fans and their family. Gotta have a little piece of water. We gotta take another bite of the hot dog. There we go. Whew. What has been your favorite feature you've seen in another VR game? Probably the core mechanic of the last Clockwinder. If you haven't played it, I definitely recommend. It's this adorable puzzle light factory game, but you're making a factory to solve a puzzle out of duplicates of yourself. You like record yourself, like picking up an object and putting it in a place, or picking up an object and throwing it to another thing. It's awesome. It's delightful. There's a cool narrative to it. It begins, it ends. It's great game and just such a cool mechanic. Whew. Oh man, this stinks. Oh. Okay, we're about a quarter of the way into the hot dog so far. Who are 3 bands / music artists you really like? Right now, I've been listening to a lot of Bicep. I'm totally Fred again. It's a little hackneyed right now. And Flume. Flume is a daily driver for me. 9. With how long you've been doing VR, what excites you about the future of the medium? Or do you think this is going to be the last time you work in VR? So 1, I'm just ride or die with VR. I'm stuck doing this. I love it too much. I don't think I could stop at this point if I wanted to. A little sip of milk. Oh, just got to tap the brakes ever so slightly. Woo! But I think the thing about just VR, that despite the fact that, anyone who follows me online knows I complain about the medium in a number of different ways. A bunch of the market's real hard. But I see VR as just being, like, it is here to stay. It's inevitable. I look forward to seeing the version of it that becomes more omnipresent in the world. It'll probably look more like glasses than an HMD, but and how to put it, I think there's a second answer. I look forward to seeing the games that get designed by people who grew up with it. Like, if you played Gorilla Tag at 11 or 12, I can't wait to see what those people make for games in another, 8 to 9 years. Just because it'll be the sort of thing that someone like myself would never think of, because even though I make VR, I live VR, I love VR, I didn't grow up with VR. Yeah, okay. Whew, we can do this, Santa. We're good. Question number 10. Awesome, cool. 1/3 of the way through my question list. Out of all the weird hot dogs you have been eating, which is your favorite? Well, out of this sequence that I've done, let's take another little bite here. Probably day 2 of the Hot Ones hot sauces, the Thai green curry one. Delicious. Not spicy, but delicious. Probably my favorite tasting new hot dog I've had in the past 2 weeks. What is your favorite non-VR game? Question 11. Of all time, Baldur's Gate 2. It was just, yeah, adore it. And that I'm playing right now, Fortnite, I'm sorry. Just answering that means I deserve all of this pain. Any plans on getting some brand deals? I would love to have an official hot dog brand partner for H3 someday. What are your family thoughts? What are your family's thoughts on H3VR and its success? You know, I think in the early days, my family, my parents didn't really get it. They'd known I'd done game stuff, but they hadn't really, they'd tried like once or twice the DK1, but they didn't really like get the game, or especially when it started being really successful, they were like, I mean, it's awesome, son, but really, what's going on here? And then, you know, I got to, you know, to get real heavy here for a moment as I'm dying here. Before my father passed away, like the month before my father passed away, I visited home and actually was able to take him over to a VR arcade to play and try the game for the first time. And it was a wonderful experience because A, the people who ran the arcade recognized me from my YouTube. They were like, what are you doing here at this arcade? Yeah, we can put up the game for you to play. And my dad was blown away that these like strangers recognized me. And he played the game, and despite not being a gamer, not being someone who, other than playing like virtual pinball games with me, digital pinball games, had really played many video games, he like got it and respected it and really dug it, like both as my dad but also as an artist, which is like, I don't know, like one of the most important things that I carry with me to this day. And so I get to, yeah, I'm very fortunate that I do have family that like gets it and appreciates it. There's like, the hot dog stuff is weird, son, but keep doing it. Oh my gosh. Question number 14. If there was something you could go back and redo about H3, what would it be? This is like related to the earlier question. Yeah, let's look at some of the hot sauce off our finger. Which is, I wish that I had actually kept with Unity version updates. I didn't do it back in the day because all the VR stuff was so brittle, and I was doing weekly updates. And so I was like, how am I going to update the game while still getting weekly updates out? So I never updated it, and I never updated it, and then it just got so far ahead that the work would have expanded and been even worse. And so I was like, I'll just stay here. And I wish, if I could go back in time, I would have, like, at least kept the game going up to Unity 2019, because then I could have fixed things about locomotion that I can never fix because just certain methods and elements are missing from Unity to be able to do that. So yeah, I would say that was my biggest sort of mistake with the game that I wish I could fix. Question number 15. Do you regret eating that hot dog yet? Absolutely. We're doing good though. We've only taken like a couple tiny sips of milk. I'm doing better than I thought I did. We're at the 50% point, so I think we actually need to like up the ante here. So, give me 1 second. So this sauce is called the Last Dab, or Last Dab Experience. And so seeing as we're down to this much hot dog, I feel like we should just start, and we got like half our questions. I'm trying to do this on camera, but also not splatter it everywhere because I'm fairly high up. So there we go. We got a little dab on there. Oh, why am I doing this to myself? Question 16. Do you have a favorite celebrity chef? Yes. Dan from America's Test Kitchen. If you haven't watched What's Eating Dan and are into cooking at all, or just like food videos, definitely do it. He tends to just focus on a single ingredient, like the theory behind it, and just do a deep dive into it, so you really come out with like a theoretical understanding of that thing. 17. What's your least favorite gun you put in the game? The volcanic pistol. It's awful. No further comment needed. Question 18. Thoughts on putting... Okay, hands away from eyes. Thoughts on putting short rib in chili. Seems unnecessary, but I'd still eat it. Cool. Here we go. Let's get a little... There we go. Another little dab on there. Question 19. Can you say trans rights while eating a hot dog? Trans rights while eating a hot dog. Question 20. What's your favorite little back end, behind the scenes thing you've made that doesn't get enough appreciation it deserves? Stay away from the milk. Be strong. So it's so in H3 there's something called, for those of you who don't know, there's something called point of aim shift, which is when you put a muzzle device on a gun, like in real life. Instead of it shooting dead forward, its point of aim has shifted slightly and its accuracy may be affected. I wanted to make sure that this was randomly different between different muzzle objects. Okay, let's get a little milk. But consistently random, meaning that if you put one specific suppressor on the tip of this specific gun, like an M16A4, it should shift the same point of aim shift every time. And so what I actually do is build a hash out of the name of the two assets put together, and then use that as the seed for the random generation to accomplish this. I doubt it affects very many players, but I just love that the system's in there. Okay, well, we are officially in delirious. I moved my head forward and got this boo feeling. Question number 21. Are there other projects that Rust Ltd is working on? Yes. We've got Typing Simulator, which is coming into early access soon. We've got an inventory management auto battler called Dunderbeck that Lucas has been taking to demo at various events. If you're interested in playing it, you should check it out. Follow him on Blue Sky, and he'll mention when he's going to be at various events. And we've got another super secret thing that'll probably start being teased next year. Oh, it's beginning to be a lot. It's beginning to be a lot. That's why we... Well, that was a little more of a dab than I wanted. Let's squeeze that on there. Okay. Would you like to do another game collab to add weapons to H3? Yeah. Weird indie games, that'd be awesome. If I had a dream AAA one, I'd probably be putting Fallout guns in H3 just because the 10mm pistol is so awesome. I'm starting to shake. Let's go faster. Question number 23. Was there any notable or funny twists on the Anton Please on the subreddit that you really love, like Scantron Peas? I think my favorite one is probably Scranton, Pennsylvania, please. Question number 24. Favorite TF2 class? Scout. Especially playing the real irritating version of it that's a portmanteau of Scout and a dirty word that I won't say on stream. All right. Here we go. I'm suffering for your pleasure here, folks. Okay. Whew. After the delightful surprise of encountering Sosigs in Vertigo 2, what other game would the Sosigs like to invade next? I love them in like a dead serious game, because like the Sosigs are absurd. And so what would be more absurd than just like a straight ahead horror game? And you turn a corner, and despite there being no other like cartoony or supernaturalist things, a Sosig's there. Whew. Gain control. Focus. Question 26. What's your favorite unusual or polarizing food? Okay, I'm going to put down the hot dog for this. So, here we go. Ooh, what's Anton's goblin food? Okay, so I have this about once a year. Picture this. I love getting like a cheap American ramen, and I get a single can of Campbell's cream of chicken soup. I prepare the cream of chicken soup with some milk, and I cook the noodles in this incredibly thick soup until they're barely soft. Like they should still be a little like adjacent to crunchy, a little chewy. I add the chicken, the ramen powder into the soup so it's way too salty. And then I put some Frank's Red Hot sauce in it because I'm from Buffalo. And I eat it like a freaking goblin. It is not good food, but it's my food. Okay, 4 questions left. That means we've got 2 more bites of this. So let's second to last dab. Oh, a little more than I wanted. Okay. Question 27. What's pi multiplied by 4? More pie than I can eat. Question number 28. What advice would present day Anton give to just starting to dev H3VR Anton? Start taking care of yourself physically. Don't do stupid hot sauce gags on video. But in all seriousness, don't sit in a chair all day working. Work out, eat better. My God, you're in your 30s. Don't gain a ton of weight. 41-year-old Anton will have to lose that weight, and it's terrible, and it's real hard. So all of you who are in your like late 20s and early 30s, start now. Don't start now. Okay, question number 29. Yeah, okay, we'll save this for 30. Question number 2. Would you shoot a giant sentient hot dog in real life? If yes, what weapon would you like to use? I mean, yeah, I'd shoot a Sosig because Sosigs enjoy being shot. It's play. They have fun. I would use I'd use a Derringer. I would use like a Model 95 Derringer because it would take like 18 shots to incapacitate the Sosig, and the Sosig could talk like a monstrous amount of crap the entire time and just crack wise, and that would make me laugh. And I would enjoy that. Okay, here we go. I am freaking shaking. Oh, there we go. Okay, the final dab. Here we go. 30. Why do you keep doing this? Honestly, in all candor, because I love being just like a dancing goofy meat for y'all folks. I feel so fortunate that I get to make this ridiculous VR hot dog game in 9.5 years. So many of you are still hanging out here, watching these dumb videos, playing this game that we make that I love. I have a privilege. I get to wake up every morning and do this. Even though right now it's a very painful version of this. Yeah, so thank you all so much for being part of this wonderful community and hanging out, play this game, watching me do this to myself. I'm gonna eat a whole, okay, 30 questions out. I'm gonna finally have some yogurt. Oh, that barely helps. Oh, crap, there's so much of that hot sauce coating the inside of my mouth and my throat and my sinuses that, it's just awful. So I'm just going to be trapped here. And yeah, so experimental build will be up later unless I die. I'm going to go now because I just got to writhe on the floor because this isn't going to stop anytime soon. I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you all soon. Peace. Oh.